Welcome to Think About It Reviews. It's me, Dan the Man, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we're doing the review of Maggie. Sounds a little off, didn't it? Welcome, guys, to Think About It Reviews, and we are reviewing me and Arnie right here. Maggie, get to the chopper. Stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, also Abigail Breslin, and it is directed by Henry Hobson. And you know what? I was looking forward to this film, no doubt about it. I really wanted to see this film, and I finally got to check it out. Arnold in a serious type role, a dramatic role that we're not used to for him to be, see. If you want to know what this movie is about, it's basically about his daughter slowly turning into a zombie. She got infected, she got bit. He's farmer dad. I like to call him farmer dad because he is. He's a farmer. And he's a dad looking for his daughter, and he finds his daughter, and basically she's turning slowly. So he has to cope with the fact that his daughter is slowly turning into a zombie. Either he can quarantine her, which apparently the government has, a way of dealing with this, or he could just put her down herself, because quarantine's not the happiest place on earth. If you've seen Dawn of Planet of the Apes, you know exactly what I mean. Now, let's get into this film. Basically, it's funny. It's about zombies, right? So it should be basically a thrilling kind of aspect to it. Actually, zombies itself is very interesting, and the whole story concept and everything. It's thrilling. It's thrilling. It's always something like happening. For this is definitely the embodiment of a slow, not doing very much, never gonna catch you type zombie. I felt like this film was wasted potential. I just did. It just didn't really. It was mostly for, look at this shot, look at that shot. I think Henry, the director of this film, really just tried to focus on he tried to do a storytelling by just imagery, which could work, but I don't think this is the type of story that, relies on just images alone. I think this story is definitely character driven. I think we want to see the characters interact. We never feel any weight between the characters, even though Arnold is trying to cope with the fact that his daughter's turning into a zombie. I think Abigail did fine in the film. She's from Little Miss Sunshine. I think she's a fine actress. She was also in Zombieland. But I felt like she didn't really hit her stride until the middle of the film, and then we started going. When she started turning, we saw some of the effects. Loved some of the effects with her, slowly decomposing. I thought that I really liked that aspect to it. But her acting in the very beginning was mostly she, to herself, conflicted and everything. But you just didn't get that sense. It just felt boring. You felt bored with it. You're like, come on, give me something. There should be heart-to-heart talks. There should be, especially with her father, or even especially with there should be more conflict with the stepmom and everything. I felt like the stepmom didn't even really love her as much, didn't even really care for her as much as you would think. I mean, she says, I raised her like my own, but it just didn't feel like that in the film. Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I gotta say, the best acting in this film goes to Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought he did a great job. He didn't really have too much dialogue, at all. But you know what? You could see the expressions in his face. You could see that he was hurting. Of course, he does, from the trailer, the little teardrop. But you know what? Arnold actually did a really good job with the material that he was handed. I thought he did. I want to see more. I want to see more in him dramatic roles, honestly. I think he really did a fantastic job. But that doesn't take away from the fact I think his character and, his daughter, his character trying to figure out what to do with his daughter, just keep going day by day by day. I felt like his character didn't do enough to really open up his daughter, to really express how much he does care about her, even though the actions he takes is all said and done. But honestly, the characters in this film just needed more. It needed more. It actually needed a little bit more dialogue, or it needed a little bit more intimate moments. And it's funny, this camera work in this is really close up, really tries to get to those intimate, right into their actors' faces, where you feel like you're right there. But I just really think that they really dropped the ball of screenwriting. I really think that they weren't able to bring these characters and get that rich little story. This is a great concept, having somebody slowly, really become that pretty much a death sentence, really becoming, just waiting for a time to go. And I had actually an idea for that for a script, but I knew that it takes a lot more than just awesome imagery, awesome, great cinematography, great soundtrack. It takes more than that. It's a character-driven film, so you have to have the characters do something interesting and something we haven't seen before. But I felt like I've seen this before, especially since I watched The Walking Dead. This is like a slow episode of The Walking Dead, one of those slower episodes where there's really no dialogue, and it's really just trying to get you in on imagery alone, which you could do that, but I felt like this is the type of film that you just need more. You need more of that push, and if you're going to do that, you got to bring something different to the table. So I didn't necessarily hate the film. I hated the ending. I thought the ending was just... I did not feel satisfied with the ending whatsoever, but I didn't hate the film. I actually kind of enjoyed it. Once it hits to the last of the second act, going to the third, that's where I felt the movie had a heart. That's where I felt the movie was going somewhere. But the first act, the first, hour, the first 45 minutes, it just feels sluggish. It feels like something, a slow walk to get to your prey, basically. But you're never going to get to it because you're slow. You're a walker, damn it. So, I mean, I gotta say though, the cinematography was fine. It felt like an independent movie. Arnold did a great job. The acting was wonky at some times, but it started just getting better as the film progressed. The editing was fine. I just, the imageries were great. It's not a bad looking film. It's a great looking film. Sometimes the camera work could be done a little bit better. Sometimes it felt like they're just going way too much of the shaky cam, not the shaky cam, but way too much of handheld free camera. I want to see, camera work where it's actually on a freaking, tripod, and we're actually getting a framed shot, and we're actually seeing, just take it back a little bit. You don't have to go so intimate into these moments when there's really nothing happening. And the script writing, like I said, needs definitely a lot of work because this is stuff that we've seen before. But overall, Maggie was not too bad of a film. The ending was, I felt like the ending was terrible. Not terrible, but it just left you so unsatisfied. The acting was great here and there. I think Arnold really showcased some of the great stuff. He just something we haven't seen with Arnold before. You don't even have to give him that many dialogue lines. I think he expressed himself pretty great. But in this kind of script, I think it's necessary to give him more, not dialogue, but more definitely that character more. Just embracing that one-on-one, more of those one-on-ones with his daughter, because his daughter's going through all this shit, and the father really, I guess that's part of the movie where he doesn't really know what to do at a certain point because he doesn't know himself. Like, what do I do? My daughter's turning into a zombie. What do? I quarantine this and that? But I think just going about it like every single day was just the wrong way to approach this film because it just felt boring. But like I said, acting, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think, was the best actor in this film, and I think Abigail definitely raised the bar towards the end. So great stuff, some great stuff, some wasted potential in this film, but overall, I did enjoy it, but I'm never going to watch this film again. So thank you guys for listening. I do recommend you watch this when it hits Netflix and all, or like on Redbox. I think it's a good Redbox watch, and to see Arnold do something he hasn't tackled before, and he actually succeeds in what he does in this film for the material that he got. So thank you guys for listening, and like I say, grab a seat, grab a tick, grab a seat, get some good popcorn to eat, even though you're gonna be at your house. See you at the cinema, or have a great day.